Top of the morning to you on this Tuesday, March 18th. This is SBJ senior writer Joe Lemire bringing you the Buzzcast on one of my favorite days of the year, Major League Baseball opening day. Owing to the season's start in Japan, this is a rare day where the morning Buzzcast can provide a near-live update of the scoreboard. It's 1-0 Cubs as I sit here now with catcher Miguel Amaya doubling in Dansby Swanson for the first run of the 2025 MLB season. Shohei Ohtani opened the season with a groundout. I feel like I'm back on MLB Network right about now, but I digress. Both starting pitchers are big stars in Japan, Los Angeles' Yamamoto and Chicago's Imanaga, but Ohtani's star power is clearly a level above, and he is a ubiquitous presence in Japan. His Dodgers teammate Tommy Edman told The Athletic, "You see Shohei's face all over Tokyo. You see Dodgers gear just walking down the street. You get the sense that the Dodgers are being Japan's team." The New York Times noted that Ohtani has about 20 active sponsorship deals spanning just about every category, with apparel sales in Japan of MLB gear growing 183% last year, including a 114% uptick in sponsorships, MasterCard Japan being among them. Sponsor United shared that the Dodgers are close to surpassing the Dallas Cowboys as the top-earning pro sports franchise. More than 10,000 fans bought tickets to watch a Dodgers practice the other day in Tokyo, and the Sporting Tribune shared that less than 1% of the tickets for this morning's game are on the resale market. Everyone's holding on to them. The report continued that the cheapest ticket in the upper deck is $3,500, which is more expensive than the cheapest seat at the Super Bowl. That gives you a real sense as to what a frenzy these few games have been. Times also noted that more than 80% of Japanese visitors to Los Angeles last year were there to attend a Dodgers game, according to numbers from the city's Tourism and Convention Board. Now, of course, the rest of the league won't start play until a full slate of games on Thursday, March 27th, but MLB's trip to Japan this week is clearly wildly successful, given the attention and energy around these games and the Japanese stars playing for the Cubs and Dodgers. Last night concluded the first season of Unrivaled, the women's 3-on-3 pro basketball league in South Florida, with Team Rose beating Vinyl 62-54. Chelsea Gray was named playoff MVP. Players on the winning team, and the team was headlined by Angel Reese, although she missed the final with an injury, all receive a $50,000 bonus on top of what is said to be the highest average salary in women's team sports. Prior to the game, Unrivaled president Alex Basil spoke to USA Today about the league's debut season, calling the first year's business, quote, sustainable, although he did not share specifics. He noted that an average of 218,000 viewers had been tuning into TNT and True TV in this first year of a 6-year deal with TNT Sports that could be worth as much as $110 million. As our Molly Cahalan shared last week, NWSL regular season games in 2024 averaged 175,000 viewers, just as another data point for comparison. Unrivaled's audience numbers were higher than women's college hoops games on the Big Ten network, but below women's college basketball coverage on the ESPN family of networks. Certainly there's a bit of first-year discovery with the Friday night league that had not existed before. Basil emphasized that the Unrivaled players had in aggregate accrued more than 1 million new social media followers, and that reach is certainly a key metric for this league. He added that while the league would still be hosted centrally at the Wayfair Arena in the Miami area, there is a chance future seasons might have field trips, so to speak, and bringing the product to other areas of the U.S., noting the goal would be to avoid duplicative WNBA markets. Monday night was also the postseason debut of another emerging league, the TGL. New York upset Los Angeles, the regular season's top-ranked team, in its first semifinal, which will be followed tonight by the other semifinal between the Atlanta Drive and Bay Golf Club. The winners will face off for the championship next Monday, March 24th. In a sign of its growing reach and business appeal, the TGL has added 7 new corporate partners. As SBJ's Josh Carpenter wrote, they include Verizon, MasterCard, AG1, Hard Rock Bet, Seminole Casino Coconut Creek, Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood, and Stanley 1913. Both TGL founders are absent from the playoffs. Neither Tiger's Jupiter team nor Rory's Boston club qualified. Tiger, of course, also just had surgery to repair a ruptured Achilles tendon. Well, Rory McIlroy won Monday's extended Players' Championship. Following a 4-hour rain delay on Sunday, Rory won the 3-hole playoff for his second Players' title, claiming the $4.5 million top prize over J.J. Spaun. This is Rory's second win at the Players, after also finishing first in 2019. Tonight is the annual return of the first 4 of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. This year in Dayton, there are a pair of 16-seed play-in games, but also some very recognizable names competing to enter on the 11 line. UNC, San Diego State, Texas, and Xavier. UNC received the most scrutiny for its inclusion in the March Madness bracket, while West Virginia's omission from the tournament drew ire from the highest level of that state's government. Patrick Morrisey, the governor of West Virginia, weighed in, asking his attorney general to investigate to seek a more transparent and fair NCAA selection committee process, calling the Mountaineer snub to be, quote, a miscarriage of justice and robbery at the highest levels. He pointed out that UNC Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham is chairman of the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee, but it should be noted that he recused himself from all conversations pertaining to the Tar Heels. Depending on what state you reside in, I can only encourage participation in totally free March Madness brackets, but I should qualify that by saying that Texas is my black sheep. In other words, it's a school I never get right. If I pick a deep run, they get bounced early. If I expect a quick exit, they win a few rounds. So, there's your disclaimer. Relatedly, I will for the second straight year be seeking counsel from ChatGPT to fill out my bracket. I'll let AI have the benefit of knowing the final 64 before settling on picks, but you can check that out on Thursday. A few other headlines of note on this Tuesday morning. ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro, who was thought to be one of the 4 likely successors to Bob Iger as Disney CEO, indicated that he is not interested in pursuing that top job. Colorado football coach Deion Sanders has an interesting idea to resuscitate spring football games at the college level, permit scrimmages against other schools, or at least hold public joint practices. Several of the biggest programs, Ohio State, Nebraska, Texas, Oklahoma, and USC, scrapped their spring games in favor of either a skills competition or even a full cancellation. NBC Sports reached a multi-year broadcast rights extension with USA Track and Field to continue showing its indoor and outdoor track events through 2028. So that's inclusive of the 2028 U.S. Olympic trials prior to the LA Games. Speaking of LA 28, the IOC Executive Board recommended that boxing be reinstated in time for the next Summer Games. Boxing was contested in Tokyo and Paris, but it was run by the IOC, not the international governing body, the IBA, which had been hindered by several scandals. Staying in Los Angeles, Sportsnet LA will for the first time offer an in-market streaming package for fans to subscribe only to Dodgers games and not need a larger cable bundle. It costs roughly $30 per month, or about $200 for the season, with MLB providing the back-end technology service. I was on the road in Texas for most of last week, sitting on a panel at South by Southwest on fan experience technology. Clipper CTO George Hanna, our recent winner of the SBJ Technology Executive of the Year award, joined me, as did 2 executives from Globant, the tech consulting firm that worked to implement systems in Intuit Dome and has a wide portfolio across F1, FIFA, La Liga, and other sports properties. There was no concerted sports track at South by Southwest this year, so many of the panels were scattered throughout the week as part of other tracks. Mine was in the tech area, others were in entertainment, and throughout the week. But I did catch a great session with Olympic gold medal sprinter Gabby Thomas and Olympic gold medal swimmer Caleb Dressel. Both shared a lot about their training, their nutrition, and both were very candid about some struggles they've had in the sport. Certainly some wonderful spokespeople for their sports. While I was in Texas, I then drove to Round Rock and visited Dell Diamond, where the Round Rock Express play. Even though there was no game, I popped over to Home Run Dugout, which, for lack of a better description, is Top Golf for baseball. I had a great time, and you can certainly read more about my experience at SBJ.com. One newsy note, they signed their first Major League Baseball stadium deal with the Texas Rangers and will be live in Globe Life Field prior to next week's opening day. I then made my way up to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, up to Arlington. I followed that northeastern trap of thinking, oh, I'm in Texas. I should just pop on over to another city. It was a long and flat 3-hour drive. But the United Football League was worth the trip. Learned a lot about their technology program, FAST, and some of their plans for this year. Some coverage already on SBJ and more next year prior to their first game. Thanks for listening to today's Buzzcast. Ted Keith will be behind the mic tomorrow, and then my colleagues will bring you Buzzcast sessions the rest of the week from our first Business of Soccer conference. Once again, I'm Joe Lemire. Thanks for listening. Have a great Tuesday.